Yeah, my name is Mark Johnson, and I coached at the University of Oklahoma for 20 years. I started playing when I was 3 or 4 years old, and it just, from day one, it's just something, I just loved it. And it's just addictive. You know, when you're a little kid and then you're starting to play tournaments and you're traveling and you're meeting friends, and you know, like Paul Lockwood always tells me, it's a sport that everybody plays for life. But overall, it's just getting on the court with the kids. You know, it's just you get out on the court and you toss balls to kids, and many of the balls we toss will be the first ball this kid ever hits. And you see them smile and they're happy and they're enjoying it. And you do it that day and you leave and we're driving home and you talk about it, and that's what you're thinking about.
The most I love about tennis is my tennis team. I think they're like family to me.
His confidence level has boosted, just his assurance in who he is as a Christian, and being around his friends who also have the same beliefs and they also have the same sport in common. So it's been amazing all the way around.
Small towns need it. They really do. They're looking for something to do. And now with the foundation, I think we've got the opportunity. And I know, Carmen, you've talked, the goal would be to maybe get tennis into all 77 counties at some point, which is a big goal, but it's possible. It may take, who knows, 5-10 years to get to all these places. But we need to try to introduce tennis to the small towns because they really do need it. And you don't know where the next Wimbledon champion is going to come from.
Again, it's a sport where players can play for decades, where in a lot of sports you really can't.
Coach Francis Baxter was a big initiating force, and I think he got together and he and some other men really put it together.
It's our job when we go to these small towns, and it happens all the time, is for those kids to ignite and fall in love with the game of tennis. And they go home and they'll tell their mom and dad, I want to be a tennis player when I grow up.
We at Oklahoma Tennis Foundation really believe that we can reach kids all across Oklahoma by winning their hearts through tennis. And part of that is going to all 77 counties and bringing tennis to them. And we're going to do that. And we couldn't do that without our awesome coaches and our board and all of the volunteers that we have helping us. And we really couldn't do it without you. There's a reason that our tagline is "We Start with Love."
All right, let's do this. Slow day at work.
Get 2.99% for 24 to 60 months plus a $1,000 loyalty conquest at Fowler Honda.
Welcoming everyone to Championship Sunday at the 2025 Norman Open. Alex Gruskin here. Apologies for our delayed start, but we are officially ready to rock and roll as our singles finals are now underway. To the left of your screen, it's the 21-year-old Ekaterina Khayrutinova, unseeded this week. She's been exceptional all week long, through to the finals today with a straight set 6-love, 6-1 victory over Jada Daniel yesterday. Of course, her opponent, a 20-year-old Italian, Francesca Pace, needed 2.5 hours to knock out top seed Elvina Kalieva yesterday. Pace on the far side of your screen, Karutanova on the near side for the 20-year-old Francesca Pace, looking for her second title of 2025, second title of her career as well for Karutanova. Would be a third title of the season and fourth overall for her career. That's our women's singles final on the left of your screen. To the right of your screen, first final for the 19-year-old rising Michigan State sophomore Matthew Forbes. Forbes yesterday awesome in a 3-set win over former Oklahoma standout Alex Martinez. His opponent today, quietly one of the best players on the ITF Pro Circuit here in 2025. It's former Texas A&M standout Rafa Perot, the 24-year-old Frenchman. A remarkable 42-14 across professional events this season. Really good win for Perot yesterday. Straight sets over big serving Blaise Bicknell. Mentioned for Matthew Forbes, with his first final would be a first pro title, of course, for Perot. Would be a fourth pro title of his career, would be a fourth on the season as well. You know the stakes, now you know the circumstances. Perot 30 love in his opening service game. They've traded breaks so far in our women's singles final. Break point chances for Karutanova. Brilliant from Karutanova. Show you that pass one more time. Sets up another break point chance. And she got off to such a fast start yesterday. That set, first set 6-11 in 22 minutes. It's brilliant from Karutanova. Show you that pass. You see Rafa Perot holding serve for 1-all. So we are off and running. Karutanova breaks 4-2-1. 3 breaks to start our women's singles final. Obviously, we'll get you back over to it in a moment. Meanwhile, double fault off the racket of Matthew Forbes. Certainly some highs and lows for the 19-year-old, but I'll tell you what, you'll hear it here today. That serve, it just sounds different coming off of the 19-year-old's racket. I don't think anyone is going to question the obvious athleticism. Racket talent of the 19-year-old. This one's going to be a fun one, simply based on the athletes we've got competing here today. 2 exceptional movers. And in conditions indoors, hard courts, where of course aggressive, fast tennis is favored, it's going to be interesting to see how these two inject their physicality into today's battle. Errors off the racket of Kairutanova. Meanwhile, a disastrous second service game thus far for the 19-year-old Matthew Forbes. 3 doubles. Can't have that. Well, it helps when you can do that. By Kairutanova. A couple of break points fought off by Forbes as well. Yeah, that's the best version of Matthew Forbes. Heck of a response here from the 19-year-old. Multiple self-inflicted wounds on the surface. Easy foray forward. Yeah, that's the best version of Matthew Forbes. Forbes holds for 2-1. Digs himself out of an early jam. Those are the holds that bring home trophies. Impressive stuff from the 19-year-old. She breaks right back, so the 20-year-old Francesca Pace capitalizing on a few early Kairutanova errors. It is 4 straight breaks to kick off our women's singles final. Been such a fun week of playing Norman. Been a fantastic month of action in Oklahoma, and again, this Oklahoma Pro Tennis Series. If every state had an Oklahoma Tennis Foundation committed to it the way Oklahoma does, it would be in a very healthy place moving forward. The exhibition event to kick off the month in Edmond led right into the 100K there. They have aspirations to continue to grow this circuit moving forward as well. Always cool to have the men and women competing side by side as well, regardless of the level. Certainly had that on display here this week. Sure. That's a heck of a service game from Francesca Pace. Our first hold in our women's singles final, 3-2. Can't call it on serve, can I? As it's our first serve, but first service hold of the match. So over we go to our men's singles final. Rafa Pro trying to keep pace. Yeah. That'll work. Yeah. It's good tennis to start. And by the way, what a month it's been for Texas A&M men's tennis. It started in Shanghai, right? Val Vashro, Arthur Rinderknecht competing in the all-cousin final. Each of those men ascending into the top 50 as a result. Rafa Pro, I mentioned the 3 titles this year, playing for a 4th today. Career best season, he's ascending the rankings. How about Pat Gibson? Pat Gibson competing in the Challenger final today in Sioux Falls. Fun display of college tennis there as he's going to take on former Tennessee All-American Johannes Monday. Who'd have thought Steve Denton knows what he's doing? Probably everyone. Fantastic foray forward from Forbes. Your guess is as good as mine on that serve. Let called, I see. It was close. I think Forbes did find the forehand. You see a frustrated Karutanova. Yeah, the unforced errors have piled up. Former top 50 junior in the world, Karutanova. Karutanova also, of course, last spring's Conference USA Player of the Year. A season for her at FIU. But the errors just adding up. So Karutanova can't find the rhythm on serve. Broken and trails 4-2 in the opening set. go again on Sir Forbes Pro 3-2 opening set. Countering that, Kairutanova find a way to slow things down. Find some rhythm here in set number 1. It can be a little streaky, but when pace is playing downhill like that, boy, are those ground strokes imposing. 20-year-old Italian holds 4-5-2 at a minimum. She will have a chance to serve for the set. As you're just seeing a couple athletes go to work. Not a leaping overhead from Forbes, yet Perot with the answer. Saw him baiting Blaise Bicknell in yesterday's semifinal to push forward, test his speed, and every time Perot came up with an answer. He's always got answers, always. Rafa Perot holds for 3-all, and it's the right play for Matthew Forbes. He's gonna have to trust himself moving forward today. He's always got answers, always. Yeah, maybe a little bit massagey, that approach shot. I like the play though. I still think that's the right move. I think Kairutanova here just looking to put a first hold of the match on the board. Even if it's not this set, obviously all these finals, 2 out of 3 sets. Little battle of finesse once again. Matthew Forbes in a little love 30 hole. It's something about that side of the net, the glare of the ceiling lights. 4 double faults on that side. That's a ridiculous slice. Yeah, it caught. I didn't love the choice as he turned to that approach, but yeah, it's back of the line. That's what you got to do from there. Slice. Yeah, it caught. Whew. Francesca Pace, come on. How's that for a forehand? More break point chances for Perot. Clutch. It's clutch serving. Almost undeniable at this point. It's Francesca Pace 2 points away. Forbes fighting off more break points. Another break point chance for Perot. Meanwhile, Francesca Pace. That was a ruthlessly efficient first set. 33 minutes on the clock. Looks like Kairutinova going to leave the court as she does. We'll go full screen to the Rafa Perot break point. The 20-year-old Italian closing in on a second career title. W35. Just wanted to make sure. My apologies. We weren't missing anything. We are not. A pivotal 7th game of the opening set. Can the 19-year-old Matthew Forbes work his way out of another jam? Yep. Once again, the wide variety of language is on display. Little Yella, little Venga. More than anything, just a successfully stuck overhead. Yep. Plenty of time to work on those indoors in Lansing. Good to see Forbes get back there for that one. Finds his way to the hold. What has he fought off 7 break points so far? It's something like that as Matthew Forbes stays out in front 4-3 and you grind yourself a hold like that. Can pay dividends in the next return game as well. Business end of set number 1 approaches. Again, the errors for Rutanova, too many of them. Found another line. Oh my goodness. Francesca Pace. It's championship level tennis. Oh, stop it. Pace breaks 4-1 love in set number 2. Look at this pass from Matthew Forbes. Come on now. Drop shot, poor. Follow-up pass, exquisite. just don't know what you do if you're Rutanova. One of her best points played of the match, and this is what pace comes up with. I just don't know what you do if you're Rutanova. As Perot goes from love 30 to 30 all. Those long holds pay dividends. Matthew Forbes breaks and will serve for the opening set as Rutanova breaks. And maybe, just maybe, can find a way to work herself into this one. Forbes as he tries to close out the opening set. Obviously, we'll go full screen to it, I promise, as soon as we see if Rutanova can take her first scoreboard lead here. Yeah, double fault off the racket. You know what? I'll keep an eye on it. Let's go full screen. 5-3, 30 all. Play he has to trust today. Pro got the look at the second pass he wanted. It's the play he has to trust enough with the volley. yet. Back to deuce we go, and again, just to show you. 40 loves become 40-30, so we got to go back over to it. Forbes grabs the opening set. 6-3, the 19-year-old halfway to a first pro circuit title. As you see, Rutanova does hold 4-2-1. All right. Let's have ourselves a championship Sunday. Alex Gruskin here. Appreciate all of you joining us for the final leg of the Oklahoma Pro Tennis Series. 25 Norman Open, a 35K women event, 25K men event. Seen a lot of good tennis all week long, including, of course, yesterday, where Oscar Lacide, Bruno Nyaven captured their second consecutive Norman men's doubles titles. The two active Sooners, a straight set win over Felix Korn and Gavin Young. Of course, on the women's side, Savannah Broadus, Rosemary Nijkamp, straight set win over Maria Berlanga Bandera, Julia Garcia Ruiz. This is what you're worried about if you're Francesca Pace. The big hitting tennis of Rutanova shouldn't get real hot real fast. Set number 2 ready to rock and roll. Matthew Forbes again face, I think, 7 break points. Let me see if I have that number correct. Nope, I was wrong. It wasn't 7. Hand up. It was 8. Faced 8 break points in our opening set. Fought them all off. Now, a couple of those were self-inflicted. Double fault issues creeping in at times, but every time he needed a first serve, he found it. Kept the pressure on Perot. He's a set away from a first title. I mean, come on. Even Pro has to ask, what was that? Caught the replay early. I mean, first of all, that's a heck of a ball from Rafa. You gotta love this sport. Matthew Forbes pulling off something special. He makes that stop the match. Even more impressive being informed that was a left-handed tweener. The righty Matthew Forbes always hits the tweener lefty. I mean, what? Responding in the best possible fashion. back to the basics there for Forbes. You almost wonder if you make a tweener as he did, win the first set in the fashion he did. Is executing a shot like that actually disruptive for your chances, right? You think, all right, this is my moment. It's a heat check. I can't lose now. And yet it's the moment you fall asleep. Rafa Perot will sneak one like that by you. Meanwhile, CIRCUT Denova's got a window. CIRCUT Denova with a lead. He's found a big serve whenever he's needed it. Holds for 1-all. A rare double changeover moment as you see trainer out, I believe, speaking with Forbes. Katerina Kairutinova did consolidate her break lead 4-5-2, so she will serve to force a third. Medical timeout called for Matthew Forbes. Okay, that's what I was waiting for. Didn't want to speak over and interrupt the formal announcement. So medical timeout called for Forbes as the 19-year-old leads 6-3-1-2. Remember, he played a physical semifinal yesterday, 3 sets against Alex Martinez. So with the medical timeout, gives us the perfect opportunity to close in on what might be the end of set number 2. The 21-year-old, the Katerina Kairutinova. It was a slow start. Too many unforced errors early in rallies off her racket in set number 1. But the 21-year-old has settled in. Oh, excuse me. The medical timeout wasn't called for Matthew Forbes. The medical timeout was called for Kairutinova. We had multiple trainers out. Medical timeout might have been called for Forbes as well. So we are in the midst of medical timeouts. Gives me an opportunity to discuss again what's been a fantastic Oklahoma Pro Tennis Series. Alex Gruskin here. Appreciate all of you joining our coverage of Championship Sunday. Of course, doubles trophies handed out yesterday on the men's side. Bruno Naven, Oscar Lacide defending their title on their home courts. Shout out to Savannah Bronis, Rosemarie Nykamp grabbing the doubles title with a straight set win as well. First hour of play in each of these matches. Again, very fun first set on court number 5. Matthew Forbes fighting off 8 break points. Found a late break up 4-3, ultimately grabbed the hold from there to close out a 6-3 first set. Again, just the 1 break of serve so far. That's what you'd expect from indoor men's tennis, right? On the women's side, we started out with 4, I thought maybe it was 5 consecutive breaks. No, 4 consecutive breaks, 5 of the first 6 games breaks of serve. Francesca Pace playing with exceptional pace. As you see, multiple trainers out, the Oklahoma training staff getting some work. As both Francesca Pace and Matthew Forbes get something worked on. Again, culmination of a long week of tennis. Matthew Forbes' week starting out in qualifying at this event. Had to start in round 1, earn wins over Nick Kobelt, Georgi Georgiev. Impressive stuff in the qualifying rounds, and then again into main draw play. Wins for Forbes, straight sets over Kretzer, 3 sets over top seed Henry Serla, straight sets over last year's Junior French Open champion Kaylin Bagoon, the 3 sets over Martinez. 6 matches, it's a lot of work on the body. Does he have one more set of tennis in, and Matthew Forbes serving 1-2, as you see now. Francesca Pace, she'll serve 2-5, looking to stay alive in set number 2. Yeah, that's the Kairutinova we saw yesterday. The Kairutinova that's so far in 2025, a remarkable 27-7 in Pro Circuit action. And now Kairutinova is 2 points away from a deciding set. Forbes pulls it wide for 15-30. We're going to go full screen, though, for the set points. Karutanova sails the first, but 2 more here for the 21-year-old. Fought off. Rafa Pro. Pounces on the laps from Forbes, sets up 2 breakpoint chances. Again, a 9th break point fought off by Matthew Forbes. How many of those have been fought off with first serve? 7 of them? Put the highlight reel together. If you're the Michigan State coaching staff, say, where is this serving early in the game? All right, Francesca Pace, sure. From love 40 to game point. 10 for 10. And again, I would seriously venture 7, 8 of those break points, big first serves, big plus ones. Just easy pickings for Matt Forbes. As Pace takes 5 straight points to hold for 3-5 still. If you're Katerina Karutanova. Quick turning of the page, right? You got to refocus, got to serve forward. All of the sudden, it is 8 straight points for Francesca Pace. I was ready to head to a deciding set. Evidently, she is not. Shocked. From 3 set points up to now back on serve we go. Excuse me, 3 set points down to back on serve 20-year-old Francesca Pace gets things to 4-5. Meanwhile, another double fault off the racket of Matthew Forbes. It's another break point chance. It's another one of those games. Fourth set point fought off by Pace. Another one, though, coming up here for Kyrutanova. Another break point chance here for Rafa Perot. If you are a Katerina Kyrutanova or Matthew Forbes in this moment, as it is finally the double fault that cedes the break to Perot on his 14th opportunity, he converts. For Perot out in front, 3-1 second set. Just 5-2 40, 5-2 15, 5-4 15 40. Opportunities just gone astray for a Katerina Kyrutanova. How many of those points ended on errors? Ace wide, almost an exclamation point. 20-year-old Francesca Pace, a third consecutive game. She's 2 games away from the title. man is everywhere. Oh, but I think he missed it wide. Oh, he did miss it wide. I mean, how many players can do that? The man is everywhere. Oh, but I think he... Still some breathtaking athleticism, right? Just casual. Just felt like, again, after failing on his first one, it was the 13th break point off a pro, preventing Matthew Forbes from the Baker's dozen. You finally build some momentum for yourself. You cannot cede the break right back. Perfect. Pace looking to force a tiebreak here in set number 2. Oh, that's a joke. Just hit a good pass. That's just... Oh, that's a joke. Anyway. So Perot does consolidate. 4-1 lead. gift. Forbes just trying to hang tight here in set number 2. Again, it was an injury timeout for Forbes. Start of this second set, match number 7 for him on the week. Are the miles adding up? Little loose with the backhand volley execution, and so just like that, Rafa Perot will serve to force a third. Meanwhile, Francesca Pace has her mini break. The 20-year-old Italian, 3 points away from a second career title. Remember, she was down 5-2 in this second set. Fought a 5 set points between her 2-5 and 4-5 service games. What was that volley? Beautiful with the forehand. That's the sort of pressure, by the way, the pace of Perot, the speed of Perot puts on you as a volleyer. But feels like we know what direction this second set is heading. Meanwhile, 2 points back-to-back go the way of Karutanova, levels the second set tiebreak. Every time you think you have a read in our women's singles final, a twist. Going the distance in our men's singles final. Rafa Perot grabs a 6-1 second set. And with that backhand in the net, match point, Francesca Pace. Well, of course, it's never how you want to see a championship match end. Nevertheless, what a week for 20-year-old Francesca Pace. Down 5-2 in the second set, down 5 set points. The 20-year-old Italian captures a second career Pro Circuit title, her second of the season. 6-3, 7-6 Pace. Your 2025 Norman Women's Singles Champion, moves her to 38-19 overall on the year. Already at a career high 489 entering the week. That number will get even better. Francesca Pace, your 2025 Norman Women's Singles Champion. Meanwhile, that means it will be one set, full screen. 19-year-old Matthew Forbes competing in his first Pro Circuit final. The qualifier this week looking to make it 7 victories in 8 days. Drops the second set as he takes on the 24-year-old Rafa Perot. And again, few people, if any, have won more than Rafa Perot at the ITF level this season. Perot 42-14 overall in the year entering the day. Already at a career high himself, 483 in the rankings. That'll ascend to a new high following his success here this week. Looks like Forbes has left the court again. We will have a full deciding set here for you on our screen. Matthew Forbes fighting off the first 12 break points he faced today. Double faulted on his 13th. That was all Rafa Perot needed, as again, you see he raced away with that second set. How much gas is left in the tank for a Forbes, who again took that injury timeout, started the second. Ready to rock and roll. Let's do it. That's the sort of first point you're looking to settle back in if you're Matthew Forbes. That'll work. Forbes gets, I think, what was a must-have hold. Just steadies the ship for the 19-year-old, allows him to sink his teeth back into this deciding set. And again, it's a credit to Forbes. Unintimidated by the speed, the defensive skills of Rafa Pro, he's pushed forward whenever possible. Now, there have been times the approaches, we'll say, have been creative. And how well he sticks those approaches could very well decide whether he's walking away with the trophy or not. But can't get to 6 without 1, and it's an opening hold as Forbes gets things going here in the deciding set. There it is. .360 on the volley, but Perot is ready with the second pass. Moves and counter moves Perot on the full sprint and ready. Continues to push forward. We said it right out of the gates. It has to be the play. Perot's going to find passes. You have to learn to live with it. To Forbes' credit, he absolutely has today. find a hold here. Rafa Perot, a little four-way forward. A lot of drop shots today. Slices, a lot of, again, moves and counters. We're level early, one apiece. Rafa Perot finds the hold. Uh-oh. And again, I just wonder how much are the legs starting to wobble. That forehand was a rushed, dare I say, slap. And sure, he likes to play that ball, but high percentage it was not. Guy is everywhere. Just didn't finish the volley well enough. A little indecisive in his choice to play it out of the air as well. It's a testament to the speed of Rafa Perot. Just let that ball drop. Didn't go up and pronate, snap it down as he could have. Almost made another one. Let's take a look. Great speed from Perot. It looked good to me. Almost made another one. Serve. Remember, he fought off his first 12 break points today. A familiar position here, serving in a deficit. I mean, if he made that, what do you even do? Said we'd see some speed today. Stretch from Forbes. I mean, if he made that, tracking that one down. Oh no. Grab some skin on that one. Might be looking for a band-aid. I think that was the case. Forbes has to say that's just too good. Show you that return one more time. Rafa Perot. 2-1 out in front. Obviously, he's grabbed 8 of the last 10 games. He's got all the momentum. And now it is on Matthew Forbes, who, look, Matthew Forbes doesn't quit. All you got to do is go back to his ITA All-American run. We reached the quarterfinals a couple weeks ago, a high-level collegiate event. How many 3-set victories did he earn in that one? Did you watch the Trevor Svida match? Does he have one more wind left in him? Meanwhile, if you are Rafa Perot, up a break, looking for a 4th pro title, looking to continue your ascension up the rankings. You look right now at the live rankings. Again, Rafa Perot was already at a career high entering the week. Currently sitting at 483, a victory today. He may catapult into the top 450, give himself a shot at playing some challengers down the season's home stretch. Back. Everywhere. The first volley has to be so precise. Clutch. Finally, it's Perot who responds. Some big serving, big +1 play to fight off a few break points of his own. Clutch. Fights off 2 break points, consolidates the break lead, and this is the game. New balls obviously here, so that Matthew Forbes serve should pop. But if Rafa Perot can just dig in here, continue with the depth on the return of serve, continue with just the big smart targets on those first passing shots, maybe, just maybe, he can create that undeniable separation. That's not the start. Pro doesn't love the call. Chair was quick to it. Breathtaking. You know, that's the stuff you just can't coach. Always helps to have one of those in the back pocket. Backhand volley gets the job done. Had to have that hold. Matt Forbes gets it, keeps it a single break deficit. And yet still it is Rafa Perot, the 24-year-old Frenchman, up a break in our championship match. 3-2 deciding set. Of course, a tip of the cap, a congratulations to 20-year-old Italian Francesca Pace, your women's singles champion in the event. Of course, doubles titles to Savannah Broadus, Rosemarie Nijkamp on the women's side, Bruno Nyaven, Oscar Laside grabbing the men's title. Second year we've had the chance to cover the action in Norman, so grateful for that opportunity. Thank you, of course, to all of our sponsors. You see on the top right, it's been a month of tennis here in Oklahoma. Abundant opportunities for not only these players, but people in the community to engage with the sport. Certainly, we all know tennis a lifelong sport. To be able at a young age, as an adult, whatever it may be, to see the best of the best, inspiring. That's the word that always comes to mind. Matthew Forbes find some inspiration here to find a break. Had a look in Pro's last service game. Big cut. Another mini look here for Matthew Forbes, doing well with the depth on the return of serve. It's a break point chance. Forbes breaks 3-all. That first volley for Forbes. As he continues to reach his ceiling, that first volley will have to get better. He's putting himself in the right spots. Yeah, that'll work. Can't teach that. There it is. Four, three, Forbes out in front for the first time. Four, three out in front, and now it's crunch time again. Matthew Forbes competing in his first ITF Pro Circuit final. The 19-year-old has played plenty of big finals. You win a boys 18s Kalamazoo title with a spot in the U.S. Open main draw on the line. I imagine that pressure severely outsizes anything you'd be feeling here today, and yet it is still your first Pro Circuit final. Already earned 6 wins this week. On the other side, again, all Rafa Pro's done this season, earned victories, 3 titles to his name, 42 wins overall on the season. It's crunch time. 19-year-old sees momentum for the first time since the first set. How does the 24-year-old pro here respond? Big first serve to a safe target. How's this for a response? With a veteran's maturity, just landing first serves. Holds that love. Yep. Love the proactive nature with the footwork to go find those forehands, to commit to it. We know the patterns by now. All a matter of execution. Now it gets interesting. Pressure, packed, point. I'd go pace into the body. If you're Matthew Forbes, first serves are always the answer. Yep. Tried to hit that one 300 miles per hour. Oh, this has been the story of this match. When Forbes has landed the first volley, my fault, hit it too soon, he's found himself in control. And he absolutely roped that inside-in forehand. But the volley leaks wide. That's the pressure Perot's speed puts on you. It's a breakpoint chance for Rafa Perot. Fought off. That's been the other story of this match. Matthew Forbes today fighting off 16 of the 19 breakpoints he's faced. It's ridiculous. Another successful foray forward. Another break point for Perot. He's starting to get a better read on the pace. I'm sure there are times when you blast that serve body, there's nothing any returner can do, but just a little condensed backswing, a little shovel. Great depth on the return. It's another break point chance here for Perot. And again, a break, and he'll serve for it. Forbes finds the overhead. Incredible. It's been the story of this match. He's faced 20 break points. He's fought off 17 of them. And Matthew Forbes is a game away from a first title. 5-4 out in front in our deciding set, and now the pressure falls back on the shoulders of 24-year-old Rafa Perot. Again, 3 titles for Perot in his career, all of them coming this season. Some events in Monastir, Ann Arbor, Lexington. That Lexington title, by the way, coming just 2 weeks ago. In that match, he needed 3 sets. Turned the title over Shinsuke Mitsui, former Tennessee standout. By the way, you look for Rafa Perot. He's reached the finals of his last 3 events. Rafa Perot entering today, 14-match winning streak on the ITF Pro Circuit. He's won 17 of his last 18. Can he find a way to stay alive? Bread and butter stuff. Two hours, 18 minutes later, we're still getting that sort of defense, that sort of movement. Forbes is 2 points away. Yeah, missed it long. So this time it's Forbes showing off the wheels. Forbes playing some defense. Matthew Forbes, match point. Take a swing. Yeah, Forbes a little tentative with that forehand out of the corner. I just think he had more time than he anticipated. So Perot, both hitting. Match point fought off. Goodness. Overhead errors on 2 out of 3 points. Unbelievable. The gumption. After missing overheads on 2 of the last 3 points to come up with that one. Clutch. Will third time be the lucky charm? Rafa Perot, come on now. At a certain point, it just starts to add up. missed it in the net. His body covered the shot. I apologize, but I don't know if he'll have a better look than that. Another match point fought off. Athletes. The hustle, the body control. Maybe got away with the volley, but how many of you tuning in tracked that one down? Not many. It's match point number 5. What? Show you that drop shot one more time. I mean, must have just caught the edge of the line, not up called by the chair. What? Rafa Perot holds for 5-hole. 5. 5 match points fought off. And this is where you just have to wonder. 5 match points. Now, he didn't have that many opportunities on any of them pro finding first serves, finding +1 opportunities, playing such exceptional offense, the sort of offense you play when you've won 14 consecutive matches as he has coming into today. But now, all of a sudden, from 5 match points up to break points down for Matt Forbes. He's fought off 18 of the 21 he's faced. Can he find more magic at 5-all in the third? Perot breaks, will serve for the title. This sport, man, this sport is something else. And again, if you're just joining us, Alex Gruskin here, a shout out to our other champions on the women's side. Excellent performance from the 20-year-old Francesca Pace from 5-2 down in the second set. Pace, a 6-3, 7-6 win to capture the second title of her career. Of course, our doubles champions, Savannah Broadus, Rosemarie Nijkamp on the women's side, Bruno Naven, Oscar Lacide on the men's side, and then this one. Rafa Perot's won titles at his last 2 events, 14 consecutive victories for the 24-year-old Frenchman. He just faced 5 match points in his 4-5 service game. Whether it was a drop shot inside out, whether it was roped inside in forehand approaches, all of it. All of it was on display. And now he will serve for the title. Just wonder for Matthew Forbes. Remember, had that injury timeout at the start of set number 2, his 7th match of the week. Reached 5 match points. You just wonder, failing to convert, what that does to the young man's psyche. And now it's match points for Perot. A 15th consecutive victory and 3rd consecutive ITF Pro Circuit title for 24-year-old Frenchman Rafa Perot. from not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 match points down here in the deciding set. Perot, 2 hours, 47 minutes later, your 2025 Norman Open men's singles champion. What a way to wrap up our championship weekend. And a testament, a reminder to all of you back home. Go watch those 5 match points. At no point did Rafa Perot play not to lose. At every moment, the man played aggressive tennis. The man played confident tennis. The man played a win. And that's precisely what he does. Again, 15th consecutive victory, 3rd straight title. The top 450 will be a calling for Rafa Perot come Monday. Of course, for 19-year-old Matthew Forbes, certainly some heartbreak, but so much to celebrate. Had to qualify into the main draw. Reached his first final on the ITF Pro Circuit. I think the first of what will be multiple finals in the 19-year-old's career. Of course, the rising Michigan State sophomore already qualified for the NCAA tournament this fall. Plenty more to celebrate for him moving forward. But today, it's Rafa Perot's day to celebrate. 6'3", 3'6", 6175. He grabs it. Your Norman Open, your Oklahoma Tennis Pro Series, now officially in the books. And again, a thank you to everyone behind the scenes at the Oklahoma Tennis Foundation. So much work over the last month going into putting on what is always a spectacular month of tennis. We're so grateful we were able to shine a spotlight on so much of it. Looking forward to hopefully being back next season while this Oklahoma Tennis Pro Series continues to grow. In the meantime, your champions coming out of Norman in doubles, Rosemary Nijkamp and Savannah Broadus, Bruno Njaven and Oscar Lacide, and in singles, it's 20-year-old Francesca Pace, 24-year-old Rafa Perot, your 2025 Norman Open champions. That will do it for our coverage for everyone who contributed to today's broadcast. I'm your host, Alex Gruskin. You've been watching the 2025 Norman Open. We hope you all enjoyed this weekend's action, and we will see you all for the 2026 Oklahoma Pro Tennis Series.
Yeah, my name's Mark Johnson, and I coached at the University of Oklahoma for 20 years. I started playing when I was 3 or 4 years old, and it just, from day one, it's just something, I just loved it. And it's just addictive. You know, when you're a little kid and then you're starting to play tournaments and you're traveling and you're meeting friends, and you know, like Paul Lockwood always tells me, it's a sport that everybody plays for life. But overall, it's just getting on the court with the kids. You know, it's just you get out on the court and you toss balls to kids, and many of the balls we toss will be the first ball this kid ever hits. And you see them smile and they're happy and they're enjoying it. And you do it that day and you leave and we're driving home and you talk about it, and that's what you're thinking about.
The most I love about tennis is my tennis team. I think they're like family to me.
His confidence level has boosted, just his assurance in who he is as a Christian and being around his friends who also have the same beliefs, and they also have the same sport in common. So it's been amazing all the way around.
Small towns need it. They really do. They're looking for something to do. And now with the foundation, I think we've got the opportunity. I know, Carmen, you've talked, the goal would be to maybe get tennis into all 77 counties at some point, which is a big goal, but it's possible. It may take, who knows, 5-10 years to get to all these places. But we need to try to introduce tennis to the small towns because they really do need it. And you don't know where the next Wimbledon champion's going to come from.
Again, it's a sport where players can play for decades, where in a lot of sports you really can't.
Coach Francis Baxter was a big initiating force, and I think he got together and he and some other men really put it together.
It's our job when we go to these small towns, and it happens all the time, is for those kids to ignite and fall in love with the game of tennis. And they go home and they'll tell their mom and dad, I want to be a tennis player when I grow up.
We at Oklahoma Tennis Foundation really believe that we can reach kids all across Oklahoma by winning their hearts through tennis. And part of that is going to all 77 counties and bringing tennis to them. And we're going to do that. And we couldn't do that without our awesome coaches and our board and all of the volunteers that we have helping us. And we really couldn't do it without you. There's a reason that our tagline is "We Start with Love."
All right, let's do this. So that worked.
Get 2.99% for 24 to 60 months plus a $1,000 loyalty conquest at Fowler Honda.
Yeah, my name's Mark Johnson, and I coached at the University of Oklahoma for 20 years. I started playing when I was 3 or 4 years old, and it just, from day one, it's just something, I just loved it. And it's just addictive. You know, when you're a little kid and then you're starting to play tournaments and you're traveling and you're meeting friends, and you know, like Paul Lockwood always tells me, it's a sport that everybody plays for life. But overall, it's just getting on the court with the kids. You know, it's just you get out on the court and you toss balls to kids, and many of the balls we toss will be the first ball this kid ever hits. And you see them smile and they're happy and they're enjoying it. And you do it that day and you leave and we're driving home and you talk about it, and that's what you're thinking about.
The most I love about tennis is my tennis team. I think they're like family to me.
His confidence level has boosted, just his assurance in who he is as a Christian, and being around his friends who also have the same beliefs and they also have the same sport in common. So it's been amazing all the way around.
Small towns need it. They really do. They're looking for something to do. And now with the foundation, I think we've got the opportunity. And I know, Carmen, you've talked, the goal would be to maybe get tennis into all 77 counties at some point, which is a big goal, but it's possible. It may take, who knows, 5-10 years to get to all these places. But we need to try to introduce tennis to the small towns because they really do need it. And you don't know where the next Wimbledon champion is going to come from.
Again, it's a sport where players can play for decades, where in a lot of sports you really can't.
Coach Francis Baxter was a big initiating force, and I think he got together and he and some other men really put it together.
It's our job when we go to these small towns, and it happens all the time, is for those kids to ignite and fall in love with the game of tennis. And they go home and they'll tell their mom and dad, I want to be a tennis player when I grow up.
We at Oklahoma Tennis Foundation really believe that we can reach kids all across Oklahoma by winning their hearts through tennis. And part of that is going to all 77 counties and bringing tennis to them. And we're going to do that. And we couldn't do that without our awesome coaches and our board and all of the volunteers that we have helping us. And we really couldn't do it without you. There's a reason that our tagline is "We Start with Love."
All right, let's do this. So that worked.
Get 2.99% for 24 to 60 months plus a $1,000 loyalty conquest at Fowler Honda.